All right, great selling Saturday, everyone. Hope you're doing well. So, Adam Mascotto Jr. with Manufactured Home Sales Mastery, in with our 15 minutes to mastery, live from here in San Antonio, back home in San Antonio after a great week in Louisville. It was a long travel day yesterday, but man, we are back at it doing some fantastic things. And I just, first of all, before anything else, I want to thank all of the great people that came up and said hello, came and met with us during the show, especially those of you that came on the Manufactured to Win live there that we were doing at Louisville in our booth. First of its kind within the industry. If you didn't see it, you got to go out on our social media platforms. You go on YouTube, you'll see all of them on there. We had some great people. I think we did a total of 6 or 7 different interviews with some industry leaders that are all trying to do things right to move the industry forward. We started off with James Burkett, who is a builder developer in California, talking about some great things. We had David Finney with Build Media. We had Mindy Parrish with Parrish Consulting. We had man, there's so many. And believe me, it was a long travel day. But anyway, you can go out and check them out and see for yourself and listen to what all these folks had to say. Alex Edwards, Inspire Communities, and so many others. Some great interviews, some great people, some great information. But today we're talking about being able to do the right thing. And I've got the wrong screen up, but you can see it right here. It's a Selling Saturday, episode number 443, how to go from a salesperson mindset to a professional mindset. And I tell people all the time, the difference between a salesperson and a professional is transaction versus transformation. Transaction versus transformation. What is it that you are doing? What is it that you are providing? Are you providing a transaction, or are you providing a transformation for your clients? And today, this Selling Saturday, we want to come in and really dig into that and talk about it a little bit, because we got the question so many times, right? Because look, we're only going on 2 years of this, right? Last year at Louisville was our first year there. That was the first show we ever did as a company. And so even still now, we were there, and a lot of folks, a lot of resellers from across the country, a lot of community people were coming up to us. And the common question was, so what do you guys do, right? And like any great person in sales would do, is once you start getting the same question so many times, you start thinking it through. And obviously we have our mission, we have our pitch, if you will. But when I really started thinking it through on Tuesday night and Wednesday morning, we came back in, or I should say Wednesday night, Thursday morning, we came back in. I had an epiphany on Wednesday night that what we do at Manufactured Home Sales Masters, we take sales teams and we turn them from salespeople into professionals. Because everything that we work on, everything that we teach, everything that we coach to all of our clients is being professional. It's that professional development. Yes, we do sales training. Yes, we show you the best ways to be able to be effective and be efficient and be able to have a great sales process. It's going to lead to you having a higher pull-through percentage, higher closing percentage, and obviously increasing fundings and revenue and profits, everything along the way, right? But the way we do it is by taking people from thinking as a salesperson and acting and thinking as a professional. And there's a huge difference, because you see, salespeople, what they do, they're simply looking at the number, the transaction. The client is simply a number. Now, we may always sit there and think, look, we're here to help them. We're solving problems. Yes, I get it. Every one of you, I'm sure, at some point in your career, at some point in your day, hopefully every day, you're thinking, I'm here to help these people. But the majority of you are looking at it still as a job, and you're looking at it as a number. You're looking at it as a quantity that you're after each and every month. And those are your goals. You get paid on performance. Completely understand. But let me ask you a question. If you could increase your own personal business, your own personal sales, and when I refer to sales, I'm talking about fundings. I'm talking about what you get paid on, right? If you could increase that by 25 to 32% year over year, what would that do for you financially when you stop to think about it? Because here's the thing. That's what all of our clients are seeing across the board. Retail community, on average, it's anywhere between 25 to 32% increase. And it's all due to going from a salesperson's mindset to a professional's mindset. And not just the mindset, it starts with the mindset. And then it's the actions. You see, too many times, even we had it confused when I first got into this business. And I thought, we got to show them the way to do it. We got to show them a better way to do it. We got to show them a better way of generating leads. We got to show them a better way of dealing with the leads. We got to show them a better way of actually going and doing the actual sales process whenever somebody's in front of them. And that's completely correct. We need to know how to do that. However, what we realize is we truly need to work on everyone to help them change the way that they view what it is that they do. You're not a salesperson. You're professional. You've got to act as a professional problem solver, a professional buyer's advocate, but you need to think and act as a professional. But it starts with the mindset. How do professionals think? What kind of mindset do professionals have? First and foremost, look, they're problem solvers. Okay, they're solution oriented. They're not looking at a situation that presents itself, whether it's from a buyer or within your own company or your office. When there's an issue with a file or an approval or lack of approval, or maybe it's the house, they're not looking at those things as problems. They're looking at them as opportunities to be able to solve the problem. They're solutions oriented, right? Because it's all about achieving what you're after. A professional is going to have this mentality, this aura about them, that it's non-negotiable what they're after being able to do for themselves and the people around them, or whoever their goals will benefit. That is a non-negotiable, but they do it in a way that matters. They do it in a way, it's not about the number itself. It's realizing how you get to that number. And how you get to that number is by solving the problems, is by helping people. It's by truly caring and how you speak to them and what is it, the information that you're giving them so that they feel empowered to be able to move forward in doing the things that they wanted to do in the first place, which is purchase a home. And I'll tell you this much, when you're talking about being able to expand your market, when you're talking about being able to increase your production by 25, 32, 35% or more, well, it's not going to be by doing it the same way you've always done it. It's not going to be by just staying within the same market niche. The easiest way to increase what you do is, first of all, changing your way of thinking and operating and thinking like a professional as opposed to a salesperson, and then understanding, here is my target audience, this is my market, and the greatest possibility for me to increase and help more people is by helping the people that need it the most, and those are the people that can no longer afford to buy a site-built home. And in order to do that, I have to be different. I have to think differently. I have to operate differently. And what does that mean to you? That means growing in your knowledge. That means growing in the way you carry yourself. That means growing in the way that you think. But it all starts up here, because if you don't have it up here, if you're not locked in, you're not going to put in the work. It's plain and simple. Look, it's proven time and time again. I struggle with this myself sometimes. I put everything else in front of what I want to be doing or should be doing. Okay. You guys have heard me talk over the last couple of months of how, hey, this year, by the end of 2025, I'm going to be at somewhere between about 12% body fat. Okay. And I've got the plan, I've got everything in place, but I haven't been locked in on it. I'll be fully transparent, man. I haven't been locked in on it. And because I'm not locked in on it up here, I can't put in the action. I know what I got to be doing. I have the plan. It's been given to me. I have a trainer. I've got everything in place to be able to get it done. I'm just not locked in. So it's the same thing when it comes to you and your goals and what you're trying to achieve, wherever it is that you're across the country and helping families. But you've got to be locked in up here. That's why I tell you, it starts up here. It starts thinking as a professional, and that will lead to you acting as a professional. Because you can put in the work. Look, you can start planning out your day. You can start making the phone calls. But eventually, if you're not thinking the right way, you're going to fall off. Everybody starts off the new year with, I'm going to go to the gym, and we're going to the gym, but we're not locked in. And what happens? That New Year's resolution, it goes away. You got to be locked in. It's got to be the way you think. It's got to be the way you live. So, but first you got to understand it starts here, and then it's got to be the way that you live. It's got to be who you are. That is it. Until we get to that point, folks, it's not going to happen. So how can we make that happen? Okay, first and foremost, you've got to accept that the journey never ends. If you're truly going to take yourself to a professional level, it's going to be ongoing. It's never going to stop. You never get to that point and say, okay, I'm done. I'm just going to cruise it from here. Because a real professional is going to keep pushing the envelope. It's going to keep improving. It's going to keep, whether it's attending other seminars, whether it's learning new things, it's learning about, continue to learn about changes in the industry, just continue to grow, continue to feed yourself, keeps you young. Look, I'm tired as heck. There's been a lot of traveling going on over the last 12 to 15 months. A lot of time away from home, a lot of long nights building this business. I'm tired as heck. But I got to keep going. And the only way that I can keep going is because I keep feeding my mind. I keep thinking up with these new things. I keep pushing the envelope. I keep wanting to do bigger and newer things so that we can continue to innovate and continue to grow. Believe me, we're working on that next one already. We just did this manufacture to win live that we were doing out there that nobody's done in the industry before. People were walking by the booth, checking it out, taking pictures. It was something exciting. And if you got to watch some of those episodes, I'm sure you would agree. Wow, what the heck is going on here? And then on the flight back, Ray, we were discussing, Jackson and I were discussing about how we can make it better. What can we do? What do we need for the next time, the next show to be able to do that? What do we need to be able to take this thing on the road with us? What do we need to be able to do that and make it better? And I'm thinking on some other things as well that we're going to do. We're going to add new ways of approaching the market and the business and what we do to be able to provide. It never ends. You're going to continue to do it, but you must be consistent. It has to be daily. It has to be daily. Even if on the weekends it's your day off or whatnot, man, you got to put in 30 minutes, an hour at least into what you're doing, because it's what keeps you going. And plus that consistency over time, it leads to exponential growth, but you've got to do it daily. It's got to be daily. There's got to be zero compromise. Look, you've got to say, if you're telling me right now, if you're watching this, I don't care what you are, if you're a housing consultant, community manager, anybody in the sales force, a manufacturer, you may be with a manufacturer, you may be whatever. If you're listening to this or watching this and you're saying, you know what, Cesar, I do want to be a professional. I want to change the way that I think. I want to go from being transactional to being transformational. I want to have that kind of impact on my clients. I want to help them. I want them to have that transformational experience with me. then you have to have zero compromise. It's got to be who you live and are, eat, breathe, sleep, a professional. That's just the way it is. And part of that zero compromise is also understanding this. And in order to do all of these things, it's not about you. It's about you serving others, you being that servant leader. And that is hard. I'm telling you, it's hard, man. We've got a small team and it's hard for me sometimes, but I'll tell you why it's hard for me sometimes. Because I think in my mind, sometimes I give myself the excuse of thinking, man, I'm way busy. I'm doing this. I'm traveling over here. But again, it goes back to the thing before, zero compromise, right? Just got to get it done. You have to be that servant leader. So to my team, when I fail you, and I know I've done it, I apologize. For my clients, if I've ever failed you on some stuff, I apologize. It's not what we want to do. It's not what I want to do. We're growing, we're learning, and we're building this plane as we go, folks. We're building this plane as we go, but we definitely, one thing I will tell you is this: we want to make sure that you're getting the results. We want to make sure you're getting the results. And the last thing, obviously, is expect more of yourself than anybody else will expect of you. You have to be your biggest critic and also your biggest fan. You have to be your biggest hater, in the sense that, how can you make it better? Whatever it is that you're doing, how can you make it better? It's not good enough. It's never going to be good enough. That's how you got to look at things. How can I improve upon it? How can I improve my scripts? How can I improve my verbiage? How can I improve my sales process? How can I improve my marketing? How can I improve whatever it is that you're doing? But you got to be your biggest hater, and you also have to be your biggest supporter. Because sometimes there won't be somebody cheering you on, at least not all the time. It won't be around you. I'm sure you got your loved ones, you got your friend, whomever, that all love you. But sometimes, man, you're on that island. But you've got to expect more of yourself than anybody else will. That's the only way that you are going to be able to make sure that you aren't being transactional, that you're being transformational, that you are taking that buyer and you're giving them a transformative experience, because you're changing people's lives. A salesperson doesn't change people's lives. A professional changes people's lives. A salesperson helps somebody get the home, pick it out, get financing in place, and helps them get to the point where they move in. A professional makes an impact. A professional does all those things and more. A professional does all those things and builds a lasting relationship. A professional is somebody that is going to be that person that every time that home buy comes into their mind, they remember you. They say, so and so. I had that with the last couple of vehicles that I bought. Young man that helped us, Chris, over at the Cadillac dealership here locally in San Antonio. I will remember that young man for the rest of my life, because he gave me what I call an enhanced buying experience. It was transfer. I had never gone through a car purchase in that manner. And you may sit there right now and say, well, you're buying a Cadillac. Of course, they're buying a home from you. Again, how do you expect to get some of that business that is in the site built world, the ones that can't buy a site built anymore, and expect to give them the same experience you've been giving up until now? We have to change. You have to change, but it starts up here in the mindset. You've got to go from salesperson to professional. If you're a retailer right now, if you're an owner, you're a community owner, you need to start doing the same thing. We've got to stop looking at our industry and saying, well, this is how we do it, and this is how it's going to be. And if they're going to come and look at a house here and buy from us, they're just going to have to deal with the way we do it. You also got to get that. That's got to go away, first of all, because as soon as you do away with it, then your team will stop acting that way. Your team thinks and acts and speaks the way they do, because that's leadership. That's a leadership thing. That's from the top. That's coming from the top. However it is that you're thinking and acting, that's what they're doing. Now, for you housing consultants out there, or anybody else watching that is not an owner or GM or a community owner, and you're going to say, yeah, well, just because you could be different. You could be different. Be a leader, not a follower. Like I tell my boys every morning, be a leader, not a follower. Be different. Go against the grain. If you're watching this message, be different. Make the change today, because the people need you to be different. But we've got to continue growing on that. When we can go from that and we start making that transformation ourselves, my gosh, what this industry will do is amazing. Everything is aligned, with the exception of the buying experience on the retail level or out in the communities. Builder developers have got it down, guys. We're here to help you at Manufacturing Home Sales Mastery to be able to make that happen. That's what I'm passionate about. That's what I'm passionate about. So you guys go out there, do great things, make this a fantastic selling Saturday. Put the files down. Put the files down and go get new business. You guys have a great selling Saturday. We'll be back in here tomorrow with a Sunday recharge. I'm going to do that one from the home office because I've got to get back on the road tomorrow. No rest for the weary. So you guys have a great day. We'll be in here talking again very soon. Man, catch all the information. If you did not see it, you weren't in Louisville, go on all our social media platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, I don't know, go on all of them and check out those YouTube. Check out those Manufacture to Win live episodes that we did, the interviews that we were carrying out with some industry giants, along with Brian Hurd and Tate Oliver from Cardinal Financial, my partners in this, man. And we got some other great partnerships coming up very soon. I'm excited to tell you about. We're working through those. So I'm not going to let anything out the bag right now because it's not final yet. You guys have a great Saturday. We'll be talking again very soon. Until then, my friends, I can't wait to meet you.